Welcome to B&B Movie Reviews. This week, Glenn Powell tries to run in Arnold's shoes, and The Predator returns to the big screen.
Guillermo del Toro returns with a story he was born to tell, and The Bride returns for the whole bloody affair. Don't go anywhere. B&B is up next.
Plus, I'm gonna go plus.
What? No, you're not. Running man? Okay.
That movie dog shit.
When Dec is deemed to be too weak for his clan, his father orders his brother Quay to take him out in the latest film in the Predator franchise, returning to the big screen with Predator Badlands. All right, Brad, Predator is back on the big screen.
And it feels great.
It does. It really does. I mean, we've had two movies, Prey and Killer of Killers, when Dan Trachtenberg has basically kind of taken this franchise over.
Crazy.
Reinvigorated it, and now we're back on the big screen, and we get this story told from a Predator's, the coucher.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, don't ask me.
The Youcher.
The coucher. I'm the coucher. I'm the coucher. No, they're the Youcher.
The Youcher.
Yeah.
So we get this story told from their point of view for the first time.
Yeah. I felt like I was reading a 90s Dark Horse comic book. Like,
okay.
Back in that decade, my favorite decade from youth, you would get these, 22 pages of Predator comics that were ultra violent, ultra weird, exploring the philosophy and history of the Predators. And man, now we're getting it cinematically. It feels so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really like what this franchise needed. And it begins in Killer of Killers. If you haven't watched the Hulu Killer of Killers film, the animated film from Dan Trachtenberg, you need to do so.
I love that movie.
You don't need to watch it for plot reasons for Predator Badlands.
No.
But you're getting this universe that we only had a taste of
in the first,
maybe in Predator 2, because we really didn't get anything from the Predator in the first one.
No. I mean, the Predator was more of a mystery, and I think that is really what that franchise was kind of leaning on, was the fact that I think a lot of the criticisms in some of the sequels to the Predator movies is like, we know too much about the Predator, like they're not scary, that we're not fearful of them because we know so much. In that first movie with Arnold, there was a mystery behind what is this thing.
Yeah, it was a stalk and slash film.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But now as Dan Trachtenberg has taken that over, and that was my fear coming into this movie. I'm like, okay, we're going to tell this story from the Youcher's point of view. It's like, what is that going to do with how we look at them? But I like the fact that we kind of get more of an expansive look into their culture.
Yeah,
I thought that was
here's
interesting.
a movie where we're reading mostly subtitles to understand our main character, right?
Yeah.
Elle Fanning shows up as this damaged droid from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, getting a little bit of that Alien franchise mixed up in the Predator franchise again. And there is this comedic tone that starts to happen in this buddy cop comedy that is Predator Badlands' middle section.
Yeah.
But I rolled with it. I just thought it was a lot of fun. I think Elle Fanning is fantastic.
She's great.
She gets to play dual roles in this movie.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She's really, really good. And there's been a lot of talk, and I don't even want to call it criticism, but I think it's just observations about the Disneyfication of Predator Badlands? Because this movie is PG-13, the first one to be PG-13.
I did not know going into this that it was a PG-13 movie. When I came out of it, I did not know it was a PG-13 movie until somebody told me.
Exactly.
It felt like an R-rated film.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is because there aren't any real humans in the movie.
That's the genius of it, right?
Exactly.
Green blood and white blood and black blood. Like, let's cut heads off.
And let's go. And you can still have it as violent as you need it to be.
It really exposes the idiocy of the MPAA. This is a movie about found family, right? Like, this is a movie where it's like you don't have to like go with the way that previous generations went. Like, you know, you could be your own person. And like, okay, Predator Badlands, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't expecting to kind of get that type of storytelling in a Predator movie.
And there's like cutesy stuff in it, right? Like there's an alien that's like, okay, that's that little Triceratops from the last Jurassic Park movie, basically. But also kind of savage and a brutal killer himself.
But even that storyline with that little cutesy creature,
Bud.
Was that the name? Bud?
I think so.
Yeah, but even that storyline plays into the overall arc of the character of Deck. So I loved how he ties all of that together.
I was just smiling from ear to ear throughout this entire runtime, and we get to the end, and just give me another one.
No, not at all. What's your rating for this one?
We're the B&B show.
Yeah,
right?
we are.
So if we love something, we give it a B+. We recommend it. You got to see it in the theater. If we don't like it, you skip it. We give it a B-. This is a B+.
Oh, easily a B+. I mean, I'm fully in on the Predator franchise. I'm not going to rate the two movies this year.
This one is my favorite of the two. I liked Killer of Killers.
Yeah. I don't know, something about the anime. We'll see when we get to our top 10 of 2025.
Really?
We'll see. So
interesting.
Yeah. All right. So that's a B+ for both of us for Predator Badlands. When we return, the running man, Glenn Powell, takes over for Arnold Schwarzenegger in an Edgar Wright movie. An Edgar Wright movie? Yeah. Stay right there. We'll talk about it.
No, it's so sad. It's not.
Why are we upstairs? For this?
You brought us up here so you could slide down a pole?
I brought us up here so we could slide down a pole. See? 4 minutes flat. Told you we'd be long gone. Long gone? We are still in the goddamn house.
Acclaimed director Edgar Wright takes on the Stephen King adaptation of The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. But the real question is, Bryan, does it live up to the 1987 original adaptation starring Arnold Schwarzenegger?
My answer is, hold on, see? Scam likely. Yeah, we don't need that. they tried to protect me from this movie.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it. The answer is no.
Yeah. Okay. The 1987 Running Man.
Okay, let's talk about
is technically based on the Stephen King book. And back in the day, I was a big Stephen King fan. I was very excited to dig into his Richard Bachman pseudonym novels.
Yeah.
And I read the book after watching the movie, and I was like, well, this book is not like the movie. The movie is rad. And the movie was rad in 1980s.
Yeah.
Now, you go back and you watch The Running Man, which I did right before watching this version of The Running Man. It's a pretty silly movie.
Yeah.
Very goofy. I mean, even by Arnold Schwarzenegger standards, it's pretty goofy.
Well, I mean, you got to think about this was 1987, so I'm assuming this and Predator, which we just talked about, came out the same year.
Right.
So,
and Predator is like, that's a movie. And The Running Man is like, they're having fun.
Yeah.
Now, Edgar Wright, one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, the Cornetto trilogy, Perfection.
Scott Pilgrim.
Perfection. Last Night in Soho.
Baby Driver.
But they're still pretty fun. Right?
I'll give you Baby Driver. Last Night in Soho I liked.
But The Running Man, this is an Edgar Wright movie?
Dude,
I don't think so.
I was thinking about that when I left the theater, because I was able to see it at a press screening, and I think a lot of people in that theater, I think we saw it in IMAX, it was a packed house. When that movie was over, everybody was like, what did we just watch?
I just don't see him.
Don't see him at all.
No.
I don't.
There are like some flourishes.
Yeah.
You know, like the scene where we're charging into the hotel, chasing after him, and the cameras are going like, okay, like there's a little Edgar Wright flashiness there.
Yeah. Some of his quick cuts, zoom cuts, you know, he tries to do that in the car.
The title sequence is a little Edgar Wright-y.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. When you talk about the Cornetto trilogy, you talk about Scott Pilgrim, Edgar Wright has developed a style. He's a very stylish director, and you know his signature when you see it. When you watch this movie, you don't see that. And to me, and we had talked about this before getting on camera, I felt like he kind of got swallowed up by the studio system.
Yeah, I don't know.
But,
like, I've been watching a lot of Edgar Wright interviews in the wake of The Running Man.
Okay.
And if anything is positive about The Running Man is that we got a bunch of good promo stuff from him. And Edgar Wright is always fascinating to listen to.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think he made the movie he set out to make.
Yeah.
He wanted to make a faithful adaptation of the Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
And again, it's been 30 years since I've read that book, but it felt pretty darn close to the book. And maybe too darn close.
Too close. Yeah. So you think maybe he probably should have deviated the way, not go as far as the '87 movie, but maybe should have deviated.
I just feel like when I heard that Edgar Wright was making The Running Man with Glenn Powell, I was like, that Edgar Wright's tone matches the movie very, very well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Like, give us that version of The Running Man, Edgar Wright, and I think we would have had a good time.
Yeah.
But the movie he made is kind of just a bummer.
It is.
And Glenn Powell is so angry, and that's like the point. He's supposed to be the angriest man in America.
Yeah.
He's not fun to be with.
He's really not. And I wanted to go to Glenn Powell because he's kind of having a moment. And to me, and I like Glenn Powell.
I love Glenn Powell.
I really do. But it feels like Hollywood is trying to force him as a leading man the way they tried to do people like Sam Worthington and some other people.
Sam Worthington's doing pretty well right now in these Avatar movies.
He's doing well. So I don't mean to call him out. Jack Courtney was another one. I don't mean to call these people out. But there was a time when they were trying to make these actors leading men.
I do
and
feel like Glenn Powell is a character actor trapped in a leading man's body. A little bit like Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. I was just thinking about Brad Pitt because I felt that way about him.
Brad Pitt, I think, has had more success being paired with the movies that work well for him.
But this movie for him, like, to me, it doesn't feel like he's portraying a real character. There's a lot of posturing that's going, and maybe it's because he is supposed to be the angriest man.
I think that's the note, right? And I think that's the mistake.
Yeah, but it comes off as just like him posturing, and it doesn't feel authentic.
I agree. It's a choice, and it's a choice I don't want to see Glenn Powell be forced to make.
Yeah,
if that was the case.
But I do like the supporting cast,
and I like the production design. I think the world looks great.
Yeah,
you know, like they sell this apocalyptic America that's just a few notches away from ours. I like what they are attempting to do, but I feel like they are in a fun movie being too serious. Whereas, like The Long Walk, another Richard Bachman, Stephen King adaptation about a reality game show in an apocalyptic American setting, that is a bummer town movie. That's a much sadder movie, but it also feels more authentically sad.
It does.
Whereas this is like action movie sad. You know, it's got a veneer of BS on it.
It does. What's your rating for this one?
It's disappointing. I do think there are elements of positivity about it. I think Josh Brolin's a lot of fun. I think Coleman Domingo's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I think Katie O'Brien. I would like more Katie O'Brien. More interaction with other game contestants. But whatever, that's a different movie. It's called The Running Man 1987. It's a B-.
Same.
Did not like it.
I agree with you. I would have loved to have seen more from the supporting cast. I thought Katie O'Brien was wasted. I thought we needed more with Coleman Domingo. Josh Brolin, again, chewing up the scenery, but definitely would have wanted more of that. But yeah, it just didn't work for me ultimately at the end. So it's a B- for me. So it's unfortunate for an Edgar Wright movie. Yeah. All right, when we return, we have another of our favorite directors. Guillermo del Toro is back with Frankenstein. We'll be right back.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
to award me love, then I will indulge in rage. Now, run.
Throughout his career, Guillermo del Toro has portrayed his endearing love of monsters, which has led him to the film that has lived with him his entire life, Frankenstein, currently streaming on Netflix. Bryan,
Yes.
Guillermo del Toro has made a lot of Frankensteins, I feel like, already. You know, you look at Hellboy, you look at The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Even like stuff like Crimson Peak, I think you can see a lot of the Mary Shelley Frankenstein obsession in it.
Yes. That's what I was thinking with that movie.
And with that means like there's a lot of anticipation when he finally gets to do the official adaptation of this great work that he loves so much.
Yes.
Was it worth the wait? Was there a lot of anxiety in the anticipation while
You know
watching
what?
this movie?
It was because of knowing Del Toro's sensibilities and his love of monsters and creatures, and knowing, if you know his story, knowing how much he has wanted to make this movie. I think there is a little bit of anxiety even for the audience. It's like, okay, is he really going to deliver on this? And I gotta say, the start of this movie was a little rough for me, but as I got through the progression of this film, I ended up really loving this movie. I really responded to the second half of this story, especially when we start to get more into the perspective of the creature.
Yeah.
It really resonated with me in a deep way.
I think I agree with you. I had a similar trajectory. Like when you're first watching this movie and you're thinking about the themes of Guillermo del Toro films, I mean, you feel like, you know, I just saw this in Pinocchio a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, like we're not straying too far away. I'm watching the movie and I go like, I feel like I know exactly how this movie's going to play out, but then it doesn't. And also, I got to watch it on the big screen.
See, I missed out on that.
I was swallowed up by its production design. Like even in the opening sequence with the ship, that ship is there. They made that ship. That is a gorgeous ship. Look at all the nooks and crannies of that set. It's a fabulously looking movie. Fabulous looking movie.
Yeah.
And then when the creature's tale takes over, the movie does take off. But I think it takes off because we also went through the first half.
And that's why that was my ultimate takeaway, because of how I struggled with that first half from Victor's point of view. I think the reason I responded to it so deeply by the end of the movie, especially with the last couple of shots in the last scene, is because of what seeing Victor's story in the beginning and seeing his arc and seeing how the creature responded. I don't want to give too much away, but I mean, it's a story that's, has been out there.
But like the ending of the movie, Guillermo del Toro's movie, is not necessarily the ending of the Mary Shelley novel either. And when watching this movie, I recalled this story I've been told about the production of Hellboy, or maybe it was Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. And there was a conflict between the comic book creator Mike Mignola and director Guillermo del Toro. And Mike Mignola's like, well, no, like I understand Hellboy. Like I made Hellboy. And Guillermo del Toro said, like, you made Hellboy, but this is my Hellboy. And when you're watching Frankenstein, this ultimately isn't Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Got it.
And it comes with his kinks and his fetishes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's something else I responded to too was how the story was kind of broken up into two parts. And there's title cards in this where you have Victor's tale and then the creature's tale. And then we kind of go into the creature's tale, and then also just seeing how Victor, when he creates the creature, and how he kind of humiliates, ridicules. Basically, he's abusing.
And he projects everything that he's learned from his father.
From his father, it's like, being passed. It's being passed down. But I also saw this. Interesting enough, it reminded me a little bit about Superman when you talk about like the tale of two fathers. So when you get to the creature story, and then he learns compassion from this blind man. It really, that's the part that really I responded to after what he went through with that experience with Victor.
Yeah, like what are the tools that we are given by our parents, and how do we use them?
Yeah, and the fact that, and I think there's something to that, like finding that compassion from somebody, like looking at the creature and how people would respond to his physical appearance. Yeah. And then this man who doesn't see.
Story about a father recognizing the humanity in his son, and a son recognizing the humanity in his father. Yeah. And that is super relatable. Yeah. But again, all filtered through all the passions and weird eccentricities of Guillermo del Toro, which I love already.
I'll be curious to see what he does next. What's your rating for this?
I love this movie, B+.
It's a B+ for me too as well. I didn't know how I was going to feel going into it, and then like I said, it was just a rough start.
Jacob Elordi.
Oh, dude.
We didn't even talk about him.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Amazing. I mean, he's an actor I'm definitely going to be watching as his career grows.
Can't wait for Wuthering Heights.
Looks interesting. Looks interesting. We'll see. We'll see about that one. All right. So those are our thoughts on Frankenstein. When we return, Quentin Tarantino releases The Whole Bloody Affair. Over 20 years we've waited. Stay right there.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Once upon a time, around the year 2003, there began the legend of bloody revenge. That was the warm-up round.
For the past 2 decades, Quentin Tarantino has been teasing fans with the uncut version of his 4th film, Kill Bill. Well, fans of the blood-soaked revenge film got their wish this Christmas season as Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, was released in theaters for the first time ever. And Brad, I am thrilled.
Yeah, I bet you are. Kill Bill, your favorite movie of all time?
It's in my top 5 of all time. It's easily my favorite Tarantino.
Okay, yeah, I know that. I know that.
I love this movie.
And like The Whole Bloody Affair is a legendary cut, right? Like it's something we've heard about since the first volume came out in theaters in 2003.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like we've been deprived of something, right? Not being allowed to see The Whole Bloody Affair. But here we are finally. I went to the AFI Silver in Silver Spring, Maryland, watched it in 70 millimeter, 9 reels of film running through that projector, those dueling projectors.
Yes.
It was a satisfying experience. But is it the superior experience? That's my question to you, Bryan.
It's interesting. You know what? I loved watching The Whole Bloody Affair from beginning to end, seeing both movies combined, seeing some of the changes that he made in it. Knowing that Tarantino made this version as his cut, this is the way that he intended it to be seen. I'm glad I was able to watch it the way that he intended. I think because I've lived with Volume 1 and 2 for like over 20 years, that going back, I will probably end up watching those 2 more so than watching The Whole Bloody Affair. But it's hard. It's
so
hard.
Let's talk a little bit about the differences between Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, and Kill Bill The Whole Bloody Affair.
Yes.
I think the biggest difference is thematically, narratively, at the center of the story. At the end of Kill Bill Volume 1, Bill, with Sophia Fatale, reveals that Bibi is alive. Her daughter is alive.
Yes.
She doesn't know that, but now the audience knows it. So going into Volume 2, we know
ahead of
there's a child
of her.
Yeah. Right. Now, in The Whole Bloody Affair, that bit of information is withheld.
Yes.
So if this was my first time going into Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, I'd never seen it before. I get to the end, she enters his hacienda. There's Bill with Bibi. and now we're going to react the way that she's reacting.
And she's reacting.
Oh, her child's
Yes.
alive. I think that is a vastly different emotional experience. I
Yes,
think it's
it
pretty
is.
radical.
Yes, yeah, and that to me, that's the biggest change because it changes the whole construct of the movie.
Right. Now,
Yes.
the question is it a better change?
I think so. No, I
You
personally
think we shouldn't know?
Yes, because for me, when you're talking about storytelling, I never want to be ahead of the characters. I want to
Well, there's two different things, right?
Yeah.
Like, so to me, BB being alive at the end is the bomb going off, surprise.
Yeah.
BB being alive in the middle is the bomb in the trunk that we know about, and that's suspense.
Okay. Okay.
And I choose suspense over explosion.
That's a hard one, man. That's a hard one.
And it's something that we can't really
do
because we saw it 20 years ago.
Yeah, we saw it 20 years ago. But
and I prefer my 20-year-old experience.
I agree as well, but to me, I'm thinking about the emotional response and the way that I respond to films, and particularly this movie. I want to be on that emotional journey with Beatrix Kiddo.
Interesting. Okay.
Like I want to be on that journey with her because there are other scenes. Because when you get to the end of the movie where she's crying on that bathroom floor, because now you're thinking about everything that she's went through, going through the crazy 88s, being buried alive, like the fight with
it still
Elle.
works with the thing in the middle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's different, but I do think it is different.
It's different.
All right, so there's that.
Yeah.
We disagree on that.
Okay.
Other differences. In the first section of the movie, there's the Oren Ishii, the Lucy Liu character's origin story.
Yeah.
We got a big portion of that in Kill Bill Volume 1. In The Whole Bloody Affair, we get like another 9 minutes, another 9-minute animated sequence where she takes out Pretty Ricky as well.
Pretty Ricky, yeah.
Does that add to the movie?
No, I enjoy seeing new footage in the anime sequence. I don't think it really adds anything to the movie that we don't already know about Oren Ishii. I mean, I love having that anime sequence because of how it parallels Oren Ishii to Beatrix Kiddo.
But that was already done.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
the
already.
one that we saw in Kill Bill Volume 1 already does that.
I think that was already done. So I think this was just kind of like Tarantino
I think
was like
emotionally and thematically and narratively, I mean, narratively it does something a little different.
a little different.
But emotionally and thematically it doesn't do anything different.
No, not at all.
So I go, no thanks. Now, end of Kill Bill Volume 1, House of Blue Leaves action sequence.
Oh.
Originally in 2003,
Black.
eye gets pulled out,
Yeah.
it goes into black and white. The MPAA was like, this is way too much blood. This is an X-rated movie.
Yeah.
You cannot show this film in theaters and receive an R rating.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go black and white and no big deal. Now, this is unrated Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Doesn't go black and white. We get so much more blood in red, vibrant color.
Yes.
Is this better than Kill Bill Volume 1?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And they add a couple of other extra shots. And also going to storytelling-wise, narratively, with the young kid at the end of that whole sequence, he shows up earlier.
Yeah.
And she throws him into a couple of the bad guys.
She
from the
has
crazy.
a relationship with that young crazy 80.
Yes.
And so when we get to the end and she spanks him with the sword, that's even more humorous, emotional.
Exactly.
Because we were introduced to that character earlier on.
Yeah.
This sequence is the superior version.
It is.
I think this is the only thing in Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair that I would keep in my Kill Bill watching experience.
Yeah.
Because it is so intense, so beautiful in its savagery.
Yeah.
And this feels like the way it was meant to be.
At the end of the day, I just absolutely love this movie.
And it's a treat to see it on the big screen.
It really is. Again, to see it again, I was fortunate enough to be able to see volumes 1 and 2 on the big screen.
We're old.
Yeah, we're
old.
We're seasoned.
Okay.
I'll say that. But I absolutely love this movie. I love the experience of being able to see it again and see it in this way. This is easily a B+ for me.
Yeah, a B+.
So,
yeah, if you like the films, you got to see it. If you've never seen it, I think you should go check it out.
Go check it out. I mean, 4.5 hours.
I mean, it's so long.
But you get an intermission, and it flies by.
Yeah, I had a few beers while watching it. It's great.
There you go. That's the best way to watch it.
Yep.
There you go. All right. So those are our thoughts on Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. 4.5 hours, but it's definitely worth it. All right, so let's go back and recap what we talked about today. We talked about Predator Badlands. We gave that a B+ for me and Brad. Then we moved over to The Running Man. Yes, The Running Man. That is a B- for both of us. Go see the original 87.1. Yes, and then we moved over to
Frankenstein, Bryan.
Frankenstein. Yes, Frankenstein. We gave that a B+ for both of us. And then Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, is a B+ for me and Brad. Yeah, there we go. Made it through. Thank you for joining us on this latest episode of B&B Movie Reviews. Come be a part of the conversation. If you have questions, suggestions, feel free to email us at bnbmoviereviews@gmail.com. And with that, we will see you at the movies.
You should put like a little
I thought, I don't know what happened.
I saw it leaving your body. I was like, there goes your brain.